Yes, Mother.
Okay, we'll start with the Mangalacharan, Prabhu.
Yes.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya
Jnananjana
Shalakaya
Shalakaya Chakshurunmitayena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam
Sadvaitam
Savadhutam
Savadhutam
Parijana
Parijana
Sahitam
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Devam
Devam Shri
Shri
Radha
Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Padana
Pada
Sahagana
Savagana
Lalita
Lalita
Shri
Shri
Vishakhanvitansha
Vishakhanvitamsha
He
He
Krishna
Krishna
Karuna
Karuna
Sindhu
Sindhu
Dinabandho
Dinabandho Jagatpate
Jagatpate Gopesha
Gopesha
Gopika
Gopika
Kanta
Kanta
Radha
Radha
Kanta
Kanta
Namastate
Namostate
Tapta
Tapta
Kancha
Kanchana Gauranga
Gaurangi Radhe
Radhe Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute
Nusute
Devi Pranamami
Pranamami
Hari
Hari
Priye
Priye
Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Namo Namah
Namaha Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya Prabhu
Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Gadadhara
Srivasadi
Srivasari
Gaura
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Rama
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Hare Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Before we start, just a quick announcement for everyone. So Sundar Gopal Prabhu ji is not on call because today his father has passed away in India just this morning. So we request all the devotees to please humbly pray for that soul so that they can reach the sweet of Krishna with the prayers of all of you. And also we'd like to dedicate today's class for that soul. So whatever we discuss, we can keep him in our mind so that can help that soul to in his journey forward. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I'll try my best to do this revision, but in case if I make any mistakes, please forgive me.
No, Mataji, please.
First, we will start how this verse is connected to the previous verses, why Rupa Goswami is talking about, dealing with the devotees before talking about chanting the holy name. So we have seen already, and you have given in the chart that the first 7 verses, it talks about Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And in that, the first 3 verses is for controlling the senses. The first verse talks about the 6 urges, and the second talks about the obstacles in the devotional service, that is Vinashyati. What are the 6 things that will destroy our devotional service? And the third verse talks about what are the 6 things which will help in progress in our devotional service. So all these things are for controlling the senses. And text 4 and 6 is about sadhu sangha. That the fourth verse talks about 6 loving exchanges, and the fifth one is association of devotees according to the level of advancement, like how we have to deal with those devotees based on their advancement in Krishna consciousness. And the sixth verse talks about associating with the pure devotees so that we can avoid any offenses committed against any devotee. And here, if you see, like Rupa Goswami talks about all the 6, and then in that bhajan, like Shakala Samhane Korite Sakati, in that verse it says, "Oh Lord and Master, please give me the power to properly honor all living beings. Only then I will sing the holy name in great ecstasy, and all my offenses will cease." So if you see in that verse, like before we could chant the holy name, our offenses have to be ceased. And then if we commit any offense for any of the devotees, like whether they are Kanishta, Madhima, Uttamadhikari, still it will affect our chanting. So our eagerness to chant will get destroyed if we disrespect any Vaishnava. That is the reason why Rupa Goswami has given all this preliminary text, like the first 6 verses, you will warn us like don't make any offenses, then only you can chant the holy name. So that is the relationship between the first 6 verses and the 7th verse. Now let's go to this verse. I'll chant the verse once. Syat Krishna Nama Charitati Sitapya Vitya Vittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikano Kintvadaradanutinam Kalusaiva Jushta Swadvikramad Bhavati Tatkatamula Hantri. So word by word translation. Syat is of, Krishna is Krishna, and Nama Charitati, the holy name, character and pastimes of Krishna. It's like sugar candy. Sita is sugar candy. And api, all the, avidya is ignorance. Pitta is the bile or the jaundice. And upatapta is afflicted or affected. And rasanasya is like tongue, of the tongue. Na means not. Ruchika is palatable. And na is how wonderful it is. And so the first 2 lines is talking about the disease. So what is the disease? Krishna's name, pastime, and characters are like sugar candy. But because our tongue is afflicted by jaundice, we are not able to taste the sugar cane juice. Similarly, our ignorance, because of the ignorance, we are not able to taste the sweet name of Krishna. So this is the disease in the first 2 lines. And the next 2 lines talks about the cure for the disease. So kintva is but, adarat, it's carefully or respectfully, anudinam, every day, like 24/7, kalu is naturally, sa is that sugarcane candy, that is the holy name, eva certainly, jushta is taken or chanting with endeavor, swadi is relishable, kramat is gradually, bhavati becomes, it will happen, tadgata of that disease, mula is the root, antri is the destroyer. So what is the cure? Though the sugarcane candy is like a very bitter or unpalatable, but still we have to do it regularly and carefully every day. So when we do that every day, but drinking sugarcane juice is the only remedy for curing the jaundice. Similarly, we have to keep doing the keep chanting every day 24/7. How we should be doing? Carefully and respectfully we should do it. So if we do it certainly with endeavor, if we do this, then the holy name will become relishable. Gradually it will become relishable, and it's not only become relishable, it will also remove the disease from the root. So it will destroy the disease completely. So that is the meaning of this verse. And actually, you have quoted a very nice statement there. I'll just read it out, Prabhu. The devotees performing sadhana bhakti should always be attentive to the condition of the devotion, perceiving the state yesterday and the improvement made today. If he perceives that after some days no progress have been made according to the stages given above, he must understand that some offense must have been committed. Having diagnosed that offense, he should give up that offense and correct the harm done by associating with devotees. So here we mentioned that we have to judge ourselves every day how we are progressing, and then we find that if our stock take is coming down, that means we have committed some offense. And now let's go to this verse, Prabhu. So here in this verse, like Prabhupada is mentioning the symptoms of the, Rupa Goswami is mentioning about the symptoms, the cause of the symptoms of the disease, the cause of the disease, the cure of the disease, and beyond the cure, what is the life. So here the symptom is no taste for the nama, rupa, guna, lila. So if we have jaundice, which is due to the bile secretion in our body, the sugarcane juice do not have any taste. Sometimes, in fact, it will taste bitter. But when we keep drinking the sugar cane, that is only remedy for curing the jaundice. Similarly, when we keep chanting, though initially the holy name doesn't seems to be very interesting, or we don't want to chant and all, but the only remedy for that is due to the ignorance. We will talk about the ignorance later. That is due to the ignorance. But if we keep chanting it regularly, then we will get the taste for the holy name, and we can relish the sweet name and Rupa Guna Lila of Krishna. So here, like this is spoken by Rupa Goswami just not theoretically. I've just heard in a lecture, like Mahaprabhu, like once he went to Haridas Thakur's kutir, Rupa Goswami has hidden that, palm leaf, where he has written the verse in Antyalila 1.120, Antyalila in Tunde Tandava Vini, that verse where he says that, like, we need thousands of years to hear the holy name. We need thousands of tongues to, so that is a very beautiful verse. And then Chaitanya Prabhu took that verse and then read that verse, and Haridas Thakur started dancing. So from this, we can say that Rupa Goswami is not just writing it for the sake of writing these verses, but he has personally experienced it. It is not that theoretical book; it is approved and relished by Rupa Goswami. So he has practically experienced the taste of the holy name. So that's why he is putting it in such a beautiful verses in Nectar of Devotions, Nectar of Instruction. So now let's talk about avidya. Um, so here, avidya is like very powerful. That time cannot destroy. And when here you mentioned about the 5 different types of avidya, um, like the first one is avidya, and the second one is ashmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. So like avidya is ignorance to mistake that which is not permanent. Like we may think that we are the body, and even similarly, like for example, a small child, like he wears the stethoscope and the coat of a doctor and say that, oh, I am the doctor, and he is think that he's really not a doctor, but he thinks that I am a doctor. That is like avidya. Like we are thinking that we are the body, but we are not the body, we are the soul. The second one is ashmita. That's a false ego. I feel that I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am this, I am that. So that is the false identification. That is ashmita. And raga is the attachment, that is desire for the material happiness. And dvesha is like hatred or the aversion. And abhinivesha is it's completely materialistic absorption. Like today we can see in that Facebook, like how they put their hairstyle, they put their dress and other things, and they will wait for so many likes and dislikes, and then comment in the Facebook. So these are like, and Prabhupada called this as a skin disease. So this is abhinivesha. So these are the coverings of our like mind and intelligence. Like this is the ignorance that is covering us. So what is the only way, what is our real identity is like we are a Krishna Das or Dasi. When you realize that you are the Krishna Das or Dasi, then you will be happy. And like for example, how we hold the mother's hand, so we will be completely free of any anxiety. Similarly, when we consider ourselves as Krishna Das or Dasi, then we will be completely out of this anxiety, and then we can relish the holy name. So we'll go paragraph by paragraph, Prabhu. Like so, the first paragraph is this: what that is mentioned about the sugar candy and avidya and other things. And in the second paragraph, actually, it is talking about the disease. And actually, I heard from Balgovind Prabhu's lecture, and he was telling that first we should understand that we are diseased. That is the first step for any progress in devotional service. We always think that, oh, I am a very great devotee, I am chanting 16 hours for the last 10 years. That doesn't make us like devotee, but still we are in the material conception, material condition. So first we have to understand that we are diseased. And like he mentions about example, like in Alcohol Anonymous, where the drunkards, they just go and take like treatment sort of thing. In that, as soon as they go, they actually take 3 vows. The first vow is that they say it loudly that I am a drunkard. So they declare it, and everybody together say loudly that I am a drunkard. And the second vow, what they can is, I cannot conquer this negative habit by my own power, I need somebody's help. And the third vow, what they say is, I need a positive association of people who don't drink. So these are the 3 vows they normally take. Similarly, we should understand that I should understand that I am diseased, and I should clearly, at least if I'm not saying it out, I should clearly mention to myself, say, I've got this material disease, I have to get rid of this disease. And second thing is, I can't get rid of myself. I need the help of pure devotee and my Guru Maharaj and Radha Gopinath Mercy. And the third thing is, I should always have the association of the devotees, so that I can at least improve little bit in my devotional service. So this is what like Balgomit Prabhu was saying. And then most of the time, this material interest is more appealing than the spiritual interest. If we have that type of thing, then we can understand this Vira disease. Suppose if you are watching TV too much instead of reading our scriptures, then I can say that I am diseased. So that, so and sorry, and so here Prabhupada even mentions that um, how the material atoms are baffled in every way. Like for example, if we eat more, then we will get into some other disease. Like we, for example, he always mentions if we eat more globe jamans, the next day we will fall sick, and then we get some stomach effect, and then everything. So every act in this material world is accompanied by misery. So at least if we don't have miseries, at least my old age and disease, they are the miseries that comes along with me as my age grows. So, and we have got so many restrictions in this material world. That's why all our material atoms in this material world is baffled. And how do I stop this misery? Because every living entity wants some happiness. And how do I get happiness? How do I stop this misery? When we wanted to stop some sort of when we invent so many good things to stop one misery, it will create another misery. For example, earlier days we have horse cart and bullock cart and all, and people thought, okay, like we have to travel very fast, so let us invent car. So they invented car. So because of the car, now there is so much pollution. Earlier with horse cart or the bullock cart, no accidents happened. We can't see in the paper that, oh, this many people killed because two horse carriages are collided with each other. In a car or any flight or anything, we could see every day there is some accident or other things. So like the material things will always cause problems. And Radha Sham Prabhu will always says, like Vedas do not say let's make things better, but it says let's make man better. That is, by making man into a devotee, all good qualities always comes. So that's what he mentions. Vedas only help man to grow better, that let makes things better. And again Prabhupada mentions here, um, like we work really hard to get money, and then after we get money, we get fear comes, how to save this money. So like it doesn't mean that we need not work hard, but we should work hard just to maintain our body and the soul. And by working very hard, what we do, we just forget the goal of the life. And uh, like for example, even i I can say even most of the Indians, including us, what we will do, like we make lot of money for what? We to make children a good fortune in the future. They should have good property, we have to leave property for them, they need to get settled in the life. But similar things the animal is also doing. Animal, what they are doing, they are training their small ones to help them to prey or defend from other animals. So what is the difference between an animal and us? We are just training our children to uh, defend and live for the future, but we are not actually training them to get a proper knowledge. So that is what in that Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.30 Prahlad Maharaj was saying, the Patirne Krishna, that chewing the chew. We are always doing the same thing again and again. So this is the individual cause for the ignorance. Sorry. And the third paragraph talks about the atheistic leaders. Like here Prabhupada mentions about the Bhagavad Gita 7.15 verse. What are the four types of people that doesn't come to the Krishna consciousness? The first one is Muda, and the second one is Naradama, Maya, Jnana, and Ashuram. Ashuram Bhavam Ashitaha. So Muda is actually, there are two types of Muda. One Muda is they do not know the difference between body and the soul. And the second Muda is who do not know between the Jiva and the God. So these two types of Muda, they are very hard working, they're like donkeys. And the Naradama is also, it mentions that there are two types of Naradama. So the one who was born without the Garbhadan Samskar, and the second one is who is uncultured. They do not do any samskar after the child is born. And actually, Prabhupada mentions in one of the things, like somebody, they kill the child in their abortion. But these mudas, what they do, these Naradamas, what they do after the child is born, they don't do any sanskar. That is one way of spiritually killing the child. We are not giving the child any opportunities to progress spiritually. And the third type of Naradama is they never try to read scriptures. They are actually called as two-legged animals. They are socially cultures, but they do not know what the body or the soul. So these are the three types of Naradama. And then Maya Aprivutta Jnana is the intelligence is stolen by Maya. They won't come to the conclusion of Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And the fourth one is demonic people, or the rebellious among rebellious of God. So these are the four type of people that do not come to Krishna consciousness. Why Prabhupada is mentioning about this? Because nowadays the world is ruled by these type of leaders. So how do we expect any citizen of this country coming to Krishna consciousness? And Prabhupada is saying, just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice do not relish the taste of sugar candy, however, one must know that jaundice sugar candy is the only specific medicine. Prabhupada clearly understands that this generation, these leaders are atheistic leaders. They are this four type of people. But only thing which we can save the people is by introducing Krishna consciousness to them. There is no other way. Like how the sugar candy is the only remedy for the jaundice, similarly, we have to give Krishna consciousness to these type of people and ask them to chant the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. So nowadays, even this, the education what we have been learned in the class, in the school, it's only talking about this material happiness or material conception. But Prabhupada is building a bridge among these two material conception. He is taking the people from the material conception to spiritual conception. Like most of our education is like Hiranyakashipu education. Hiranyakashipu is removing Vishnu from. He's saying there is no God. He's saying that Hiranyakashipu is only that. Similarly, our leaders are also teaching there is no God. It's about Big Bang Theory. The monkeys, we are coming from apes. Actually, I remember Gauragopal Prabhu always says, like jokingly, one child went to the dad and asked, Daddy, Daddy, how did we come? He says, oh, we are coming from monkeys. And then he's not satisfied. He goes to the mom and he says, Mommy, how did we come? He said, we all come from God. And then he asked Mommy, no, but Daddy said we all come from monkey. But mom says, yes, but Daddy's family come from monkey, our family comes from God. I just remember this just to make it lighter. So, like these type of educations we are getting from the schools, like what education we are getting from the school is in that mainly is based on the sense gratification. But what ISKCON or Prabhupada is teaching is the goal of life is to serving Krishna. And in the material education, we are actually it develops more of less the Duryodhana attitude in us. But whereas in Krishna conscious, it's loving God is our goal. And the end of this material education, the mainly aim is eat, drink, and marry. Whereas in Krishna conscious, we selflessly and lovingly serve God. So the root cause of avidya is mainly this material education, that I am the center, I am the best, and it's like a cutthroat competition. Whereas Prabhupada is building the bridge between these two, and then he says there is no competition, everybody is the same, and we are better. All are better than me. I am the lowest. Like we get that humble attitude here, and there is no envy. So this is how Prabhupada is helping to introduce Krishna consciousness in order to remove the real disease of the heart, which is called Keshagni. Okay. And the next paragraph, he talks about the three stages of chanting, which is Nama Bhashya, Nama Aparat, Nama Bhas, and Shuddhanam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, we may need to wrap up soon. It's 7:50
Oh, yeah.
almost.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Sorry, no problem.
Yes, Prabhu. I think, okay, anyway, Namabas, and we all know, Prabhu, it's like, I mean, it's offensive chanting, and Namabas is the clearing stage, like a silver cow, and Shuddhanam is the pure stage. And we have to work really hard to all these things. Like one example I'll give, Prabhu. For Namabas, like, for example, like when we do some swimming or anything, we have to do a lot of practice. Similarly, to come to the Namaba stage, even if one name, if we chant clearly, with attentively, with tears on the eye, then that means like we are entering into the Namaba stage. And because of all these things, we get like in your chart you mentioned that we get into those like Anartha Nivarti, Bhajana Kriya, Ruchi, Nishta, and all these things happens normally when we come into this Namabas and Nama Shuddha Nam stage. Sorry, Prabhu, I've taken so much
No,
time.
no, no. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You explained so nicely. I really wanted to hear more. Just to let everyone know, last week Mataji was not ready. She said, "Oh, I don't have time to study." And this is how she gives class when she has not prepared much. So imagine when Mataji prepares, how good classes she will give, or maybe she is
Prabhu,
already giving.
I'm just repeating what you are teaching us so patiently for this many
We're
years.
all repeating from our acharyas and Prabhupada. So no, very nice, Mata. Very, very
Thank,
nice.
thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, let's continue with our discussion. It's just my Guru Maharaj said, when you go to the spiritual world, then there will no time limit. You can chant unlimitedly. You can do Krishna Katha unlimitedly. In the material world, we're always squeezing time. Okay, so last week we started verse 8.
Sorry, Prabhu, 1 minute. Like
Yes,
when we do this revision, actually, we can reflect ourselves. Like we can see where we are standing in this,
yes.
like
No,
that is one opportunity for everyone. If we do revision, we can, as you said, the stock take, we can take the stock take of the
yeah.
going back.
Otherwise, it sometimes just become one-way hearing. So you hear the class as a duty, sometimes, not always. And then you go back, okay, class khatam ho gaya. But when you have to say something, then you have to reflect, meditate, research, make notes. So it's very nice from that perspective. That's why we are trying to give opportunity to like one devotee for one verse at least. If anyone wants to do a second revision, please let me know. Next week, Mataji is smiling. Prema Bhakti Mataji is doing the revision, so she's already thinking. No, it's nice actually. It's nice to speak about Krishna a little bit. Okay, so last week you started verse 8. Anyone would like to read this verse very quickly? Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna. Would you like to read this verse just on your own? Like we don't need to repeat it. We already repeated it.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The translation.
No, just the verse, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah, apologies if I don't pronounce it
No problem.
properly. Tana nama rupa charata
Charitadi sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyoja. Yes, Mata. Isthan.
Tishthan vraje tadanuragi jananugami kalam nayed akhilam iti deshasaram.
Kalam nayed akhilam iti upadesha saram. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry to put you on the spot. But yeah, it's a very nice verse. So this verse, as we spoke last week, is a continuation from the previous verse itself. And this technically is the last verse, as Rupa Goswami is saying, Iti Upadesha Saram. So this verse, you can say from that perspective, has a sar. So this Upadeshamritam itself is a sar. And the sar of the sar, the summary of the summary is this verse. Rupa Goswami saying, Iti Upadesha Saram. So what is that Upadesha sar? So we started last week. So we read already. I'll not read the translation again. So the first line was Tan Nam Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu. So as Vijay Gopi Mataji was explaining, once the avidya is gone, the disease is removed, then we can chant the holy name nicely. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj always quotes that verse. Trinadapi suniye chena taroreva sahishrana amani naman dena kirtaniya sadahari. So once we become humble, then only we can chant. Before humility, we can't chant. We can chant, but not constantly. Kirtaniya sadahari. That will not happen. We can just do duty, but Kirtaniya sadahari will not happen. So verse 7 is considered. We have got some taste, and once we got some taste, what do? Tana, which refers to Krishna, Nam Rupa Charitadi. What's the common word between verse 7 and 8? Anyone?
Nama.
Nama Charita. Huh? So name, pastime, etc. was given in verse 7 as well and in verse 8 verse 8 as well. Now here it's saying Nama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu. What does Sukirtan mean? So we have word Kirtan. What does Kirtan mean? My Prabhuji? Kirtan?
So, I'm meeting.
Sorry.
Kirtan, breakdown.
If Kirtan, Kirtan mane?
Kirti,
Praise.
chanting the glorious,
Chanting the glories.
praising.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So can I do your Kirtan or
No,
someone else Kirtan? No.
no.
So
Krishna
Kirti,
Kirtans.
Krishna Kirtan, huh? So we cannot do each other's Kirti Gayan, which we usually do, huh? When two people sit together, they do Kirti Gan of themselves. I'm so better than others, huh? So Kirti Gan has to be done for Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Sukirtan mean anyone?
Right. Uh,
Su, Madhur Kirtan, huh? Sankirtan means Sangame Kirtan, so doing Kirtan together, doing glorification, serving together, or Samyak Kirtan. Samyak Kirtan means complete glorification, as far as our capacity, complete glorification. So Kirtananu means we are doing this glorification from the heart, very sundar, very sweet, very madhur Kirtan of Nam Rupa Charita. So as we know, the process is by taking the holy name, Nama, it will be able to see the Rupa. Now, initially, when you go to Gopinath's temple or any temple, you go to Krishna or whichever the deities are, you bow down and you come out. Do you hardly see the Lord. And you come out and you see what dress Lord was wearing, you'll not be able to notice, huh? Slowly, 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 devotees serve the Lord so nicely. They send the darshan every day. Then you start looking at the Lord. Oh, today Lord is wearing yellow dress. Today Lord is wearing blue dress. Today Lord is having this garland, having this earring. And then you start looking at Rupa. Oh, actually, Gopinath is so beautiful, so beautiful. But that happens slowly, isn't it? In India, when we used to go, we'll just go down, take the Ilaichi Dana or Sharanamrit and come out. Ho gaya mandir. So, Nama, Rupa, Guna. And then from the Rupa, you enter into the Guna, the glories of Krishna, the characteristics of Krishna. How Krishna is so beautiful, how Krishna is so merciful, how Krishna loves his devotees. You go into the Guna. And finally, you enter into his Leela. So, same thing Rupa Goswami is saying. Through the chanting of the holy name without offenses, once your disease is gone, you'll get interested so much. Through the Naam, you'll go to Rupa, Charit, Adi, and Sukirtananu. Sukirtananu. You'll be doing the glorification of that. Smrityo, and if you're doing Naam, Rupa, Charitadi, Sukirtananu, what will be the result? Smrityo. In your memory, what will happen? Krishna will come. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So if you do Shravan of Lord Vishnu, do Kirtan of Lord Vishnu, then Smaran, remembrance will also be of Lord Vishnu. If you do Shravan of, say, Shah Rukh Khan movie or some India-Pakistan match or something like that, you do Kirtan of that. What you will remember while going to bed? Obviously, same thing. So, Vishnu Smaranam. Smrityo Kramena. Now, the next two words are very, very important. Kramen obviously is gradually. Previous verse also uses gradually. Rasana. Rasana means, anyone remembers from the last verse? Tongue. Tongue is called rasana. And rasana,
Test.
yeah, taste. Rasa, we taste rasa. What's the rasa? Krishna is Akhila Rasamrit Murti. Rasana. So tongue, say ras. So from the tongue, rasana, we taste the rasa for the rasik, Krishna. So we can say like that. So rasana. So niyoj means engage. So niyoj, engaging jiva, engaging tongue is easy, isn't it? We are all chanting Hare Krishna. But how many of us can say we are chanting from the heart? Not many. I can't say at least. So chanting from the tongue, it says counting is very easy, chanting is very difficult. Counting is easy. Sola mala ho gaya. 16 rounds done, over. 32 rounds over. Chanting Krishna's name, that's difficult. So rasana niyojya. So initially what you will niyoj, what you will engage? Rasana, your tongue. With your tongue, you will do Nam, Charit, Guna, Sukirtananu. But then later, Manasi niyojya. You have to engage what? Your mind. Because this is the purpose. Manmana bhava mad bhakto. Give your mind to me, Krishna is saying. Maya asakt mana apartha yogam yunjam madashraya. 7.1. Krishna is saying, give your mind to me, attach your mind to me. So eventually what Krishna is asking, attach your mind to me, because your mind is disattached with me. And because your mind is disattached, you are detached from me. So Manasi Nyoja. So Prabhupada take this opportunity to explain all about mind in his purport. From the very line one, actually, Prabhupada starts talking about the mind. So last week we discussed this instance of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Rajamil was such a nice boy. He went to jungle, he saw some other scene, and he got attracted towards that lady. And Prabhupada is mentioning that. Why? Because although he was a Brahman boy, his mind got distracted. Prabhupada says, so why should we train the mind? And it can happen with us. It happens with us. So why should we train? As Ajamil giving an example, mind can be our friend, mind can also be our enemy. And the impressions, whatever we take input, it says garbage in, garbage out. So if we think, we see all the garbage, unnecessary things, then all the garbage remains with us. So mind impression, we can make a sattvic impression, or we can make tamasic or rajasic impressions. We'll also look at the Bhagavad Gita, verse 6.6, how mind can be a best friend and how mind can be the worst enemy of us. So why to train the mind? Then Prabhupada continues why to train the mind, and he gives example of 8.5. He says, because there's a function at death. Anyone knows that verse from Bhagavad Gita, where it says, function of mind as per Prabhupada purport? Yeah, Dharma Prabhu.
You mean at the death, how do we remember?
Yes, so what's that verse in Bhagavad Gita?
Yam yam vape smaran.
Yep. Tejati ante kalevram. What's the verse number? Anyone?
8.6.
8.5. Thank you.
5.6, yeah.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is taking opportunity to engage that verse as well. He's saying whatever bhava you will remember at the time of quitting the body, doubtlessly you will receive the same body next birth. So training our mind is extremely important. And again, the famous example of Bharat Maharaj is given. He was a very, very highly elevated devotee, but he still, at the last minute, because he was thinking of a deer, he had to accept the body of a deer. Okay, let's continue our discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam, Manasi Niyojya. So this is the start of our discussion today. So it's a famous verse. This verse is spoken by a Brahman in Avanti, sometimes called Avantika Brahman, and he is speaking this verse. I'll read the verse and give you the context in a minute. So this is 11:23:42. Dvija Uvacha, Avanti Brahman Uvacha, very famous verse. Nayam Jano Me Sukh Dukha Hetu, Na Devatma Grah Karma Kalah, Manaha Param Karanam Amananti Sansara Chakram Parivartayetat. So this Brahman is saying, Nayam Jano. Many times we think some jana, some people are giving me dukha. Nayam Jano me. To me, these janas, these people are not giving dukha. Sukha dukha hetu. Sometimes we feel they are giving sukha, sometimes we feel they are giving us dukha. But Nayam Jano me. No, none of the people are giving me sukha or dukha. Na devatma. Sometimes we think corona breakout, this flood and this bushfire, this and that. So devatas are angry. Na devatma. He's saying, no, devatas are also not giving dukha. Some graha, karma, kala are giving dukha. Ab grahas are, shani bahut bhari hai. Mangal ka tedhi vakra drishti hai. So many people earning money these days. They know nothing about it. Not, the science is Vedic, but many times, 99% of the time, Brahmins are not Vedic. They don't know this science. So sometimes they say this bhari, that bhari, you do a puja. Vijay Gopi Mataji was explaining Gaur Gopal Prabhu. I remember one joke of Gaur Gopal Prabhu. A man went to an astrologer and saying, Maharaj, बहुत खराब समय चल रहा है. So he looked at the hand and he said, oh, Shani bhari hai. Bole, okay, so what should I do? He said, puja karwa lo. Okay, how much it will cost? He said, give me 500 rupees. I'll do puja and Shani will go away. 500 rupees. Maharaj, I don't have 500 rupees. Okay, give me 200 rupees. No, Maharaj, I don't have 200 rupees. Okay, give me 100 rupees. I'll do puja for you. Your Shani will go away. Maharaj, I don't have 100 rupees. Finally, the Pandit settled down for 10 rupees. Give me 10 rupees. I'll do puja. Shani will go away. And this man said, Maharaj, I don't even have 10 rupees. He said, get out from here. You don't even have 10 rupees. Shani cannot do anything to you. So many times we have this misconception our grahas or karmas are giving us dukkha. Now they are not wrong. They are not wrong, but they are not the root cause. Even grahas or karmas are giving dukkha. So we are responsible for it, isn't it? We have done something bad to someone in the past and the same thing is coming back to us. So it's not wrong, but this is not the root. Saying kala, the kal is very time, samay kharab chal raha hai aajkal. Kala, na. The graha, karma, kala, devatatma, they are not the cause. Jana is not the cause. Manaha param karanam. What do I consider? My mind is the cause. My mind consider this person as my friend, this person as my enemy. Sansara chakram parivartayetyat. Uh, So I'll read the translation of Prabhupada. Rather, it is the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life. Someone was saying, if our mentality is very negative, we will find problem in every opportunity. Even if someone gives you opportunity, you'll find some problem in that. No, Prabhuji, kuch na kuch to problem hai. So if your mentality is like that, you will find problem even amongst all the opportunities. And if your mentality is very sattvic, you will find opportunity even amongst the problem, isn't it? The problem is going on, you will still thank Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. You have put me in this situation to help me to get some realization. So it's very, very important in every single situation of our life. We should be very positive and we should see what opportunities Krishna is giving rather than just focusing on what problems. Krishna is giving me a lot of problem. We tend to blame Krishna or Bhagwan naraz hai. Krishna is not happy with me. So not like it's the mind, actually it's the mind and how we interpret that particular situation. Okay, so this is from Avanti Brahman, and this whole thing is coming. Krishna is speaking with Uddhava. It's called Uddhav Gita. So this is the 11th canto. Very beautiful. This is one of the gurus of the Tattreya. Now, what exactly the mind is? Chaitanya Charan Prabhu explains very nicely MIND, which is the acronym for mind. What does M stands for? Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says it magnifies the problem, isn't it? Even if you have some little problem, mind will keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it. And eventually the problem looks so big. The problem may not be so big. Sometimes what happens, even if the problem has not come to us, we think the problem may come, and then if that problem comes, then that will happen. Suppose I'm going to get operation, then what happens if I die? What happens if this happens and that happens and that happens and that happens? And it's like we are paying interest on loans which we have not even taken yet, isn't it? We haven't even taken the loan yet, we are paying the interest. What if this happened? No, we have to be careful, no doubt about that. But if we overthink, if a vegetable is rotten and you overcook the vegetable, Mohit Prabhu, will it become very sweet? Will it become cooked? The vegetable is rotten, no matter how much time you give to that problem, it's there. It's there. So by just constantly thinking about the problem is not going to go away. It says a rabbit, when a storm comes, what a rabbit does? It puts his head in the hole. If I don't see the problem will not be there. No, by putting the head in the hole, the storm is not going to stop. The storm will come. Chaitanya also makes this beautiful quotation. He says, don't tell Krishna how big your problem is. Tell the problem how big Krishna is. Tell the problem how big Krishna is. So this is how we should think against the current. The current is dukkhalem shashvatam. So dukkha will come no matter how many adjustments you do, dukkha is going to come. No doubt about it. But what we're going to do about it, that's what our response is. Problems we can't stop. In the ocean, can you stop the waves? You can't. How you deal with the waves, that's the point. So magnifies the problem. Mind always does that. I imagines the pleasure. If I get this car, I will be so happy. If I get this job, I'll be so happy. If I just go to Germany, I'll be happy. If I just go to Switzerland, I'll be happy. If I meet this person, I'll be happy. If I get this e-table, I'll be happy. It always happens. The grass on the other side is always greener. I am the worst one in this whole community, but see, look at that devotee. He is very happy. Other person is very happy. You go to them and they must be suffering more than you. इस क्षमा में मेरा दामन कौन पहुंचेगा जिसका देखो दामन उसका भीगा हुआ है. Something like that. People get it. Lal Govind Prabhu says that. Everyone is crying this material, but who's going to wipe out my tears? So mind always actually imagines the pleasure on the other side. And once you go there, it's not much actually. It's not much. You go to Switzerland, it's exactly same roads and some road work is going on. People are running to work and there's a tram going on. There is a bus going on. Shops have problems and they have crimes and From here in Sydney, travel agents will show you, oh, Switzerland is the heaven of the world, huh? Kashmir, this, that, huh? They show all these pictures of pleasure. You buy this bike, you will be the happiest person of the world. And you buy the bike, it doesn't see. You know, in internet, in eBay or other sites, Amazon, they show such a nice pictures and people purchase those things. When the thing come in the house, array, it looks completely different. They put so attractive pictures, isn't it? Anyone experienced that? I have experienced actually, huh? They put very attractive pictures, only $5, $6. You buy the thing, it's just a plastic, like just wasting money. Huh? So mind always imagines the pleasure. N stands for neglect the opportunities. Huh? Mind always neglect the opportunity because mind always think about the past or future. Now, past, it says, is already past, isn't it? Do you have any control over your bhoot, over your past, which is already past? Whatever this was good or bad, you have no control over those things. Do you have any control over your future? You may think about your future, you may plan about your future, but can you control your future? What will happen tonight? Can anyone control? Can anyone guarantee? Yes, I will survive this night. No, we don't know. Huh? So mind never lives in the past. Mind always lives in the past or in future. So it neglects the opportunity which it has right now because it says all you have is present. Right now it's 18th of September 2024, 8 or 9 p.m. Huh? This is all we have. We don't know about 8, 10 p.m. and we have no control over 8 or 8 p.m. That's already passed. So whatever moments have passed, we take lessons from them, definitely, and we try to improve ourselves, but that's past. That's past. Sometimes people live in the past and they go into depression, inferiority complex or superiority complex and those sort of things. But it's all very complex, all very complex. So it neglects the opportunity, says, make your present better. Don't worry about the future. You can plan for future, you can take lessons from the past, but concentrate on this one. He says you cannot chant 16 rounds attentively, but you can attempt to chant one mantra attentively right now, isn't it? So one mantra which we are chanting right now, that we can pay attention to. How we'll chant 16 rounds, we don't know actually. We don't know. So one mantra, one reading what we are doing, whatever seva we are doing, we can put our focus on there. And sometimes mind tell us, when you're doing chanting, Prabhu, you are not reading these days. When you're reading, Prabhu, you're not chanting. When you're not doing either, Prabhu, you're not serving these days. Whatever you will do, mind will make some excuse to not do that activity with focus and do some other activity. If you read some, you are too tired today, you must sleep now. Always making excuses and doing something else, something else, something else, like a monkey, like a monkey. So it neglects the opportunity which we have it right now. When we go back to Goloka, then you serve nicely. But right now, chalega, chalega. Anything is fine. Anything is fine. Somehow just pass the exam. Huh? Not that you guys do it, but mind thinks just pass the exam. समझ में आया नहीं आया, it doesn't really matter. But actually, that's not the purpose of this whole study at all. Just to get a study, it's just to create interest in devotees to read more. And it's just a token, you can say, a certificate comes. But we think, oh, that certificate is big. That's not big. It's neglecting the opportunity. We are reading Prabhupada books, Krishna's words, in association of devotees. That's the best thing actually we can do. And the last one, it denies the reality. Denies the reality. The reality is the problem is with me. But what I think problem is with everyone except me. I'm the best one. I am the Yudhishthira. Everyone else is Duryodhana. Do we think like that? Many times at least. We may not say it, but we feel it. I'm so good. Why this Prabhu is not understanding me? Why my temple leader or my Siksha leader is not understanding me? Why Guru Maharaj is not understanding my problems? Why this, why that, and why? There's only one why, why I am not Krishna consciousness. One time Prabhupada disciple was saying the root of every problem is we are not Krishna conscious. That's it. Even if you get malaria, the root of the problem is you're not Krishna conscious. And Maharaj proved it. He said, but how would you say my forgetfulness of Krishna is causing me malaria? He said, because you forgot Krishna, you did some papa, and that papa is getting delivered by that machar, by that mosquito, and now you're suffering again. So the root cause, the immediate cause can be a mosquito. That's fine. but the root cause is you forgetting Krishna. So any suffering which comes, he said, you should not blame others. Take the responsibility. Huh? No, that's not the end game, but the point is you put yourself in the picture and say, no, I'm not so good. I'm not so good. Huh? I have faults. I have so many lackings. I have so many areas to improve at. So instead of blaming the whole world and the people and the devata and this and that, no, I am not so good. Huh? I need to improve wherever possible. I need to do. So mostly it denies the reality. It denies the reality. It always puts that I am right, everyone else is wrong. And many times, if not all the times, it can be the other way. So MIND, who will tell me? I'll stop. Who can tell? M stands for, everyone can say one thing quickly.
Magnifies problems.
Magnifies problem. Example, quickly.
Whatever that you think, like if you worried, the worry you just keep pondering over it, and then you think that, oh, this is a very big problem, you can't solve it
It
because
becomes
it
like a
really makes it
Kumbhakaran.
worrying.
It
Yes.
can be a tiny problem, and mind can think, oh, it's like a Kumbhakaran. How can I deal with a Kumbhakaran? Thank you, Prabhu. Next one. I
Imagines pleasure.
imagine pleasure. What does it mean?
Pleasure. Prabhu, example like, we talk about this Sydney Bridge and Opal. So before coming here, we always think, oh, that's a big icon. We want to come and see. But today, every day we pass through that and we don't bother about it.
Never even bother about. That's so true. When I was in India, I was thinking I had never come to foreign land. Oh, foreign land will be like a heaven, this and that. When I landed, I looked at the road. I was actually shocked. I'm like, is that all? Is that all? This is the same road, same trees.
Yeah.
Huh? Maybe not that much pollution, but I was thinking foreign country is a big thing. Nothing.
Yeah.
You
They
go
said
there,
there
it's
are
the
less
same.
number of people and very few houses. But when I came here, it's just opposite.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Thank you. So imagine the pleasure, huh? Next place will be very nice. This place is worse. Next place. London people think Sydney people are very happy. Sydney people think London people are very happy, huh? And someone else may think New York people are very happy. No one is happy. Thank you, Prabhuji. Third one, who can say quickly? Gopinath, Prema Mata, N, MIN.
Neglect opportunities.
You never do that. Mata, you never leave any opportunity to engage in service, but you can just expand the point.
That
You can expand on it, Mataji.
I think it, I don't know if I remember, but it is like focusing on work, one
On
work,
present,
yeah, on
not
present.
past or future. So future means we are in moha. Past means we are in shoka. So we are constantly, most of us, in shoka or moha, living in past or in future. So we neglect what we have right now today. Huh? That is neglecting the portion because we are so much absorbed what has been taken away and we forget what Krishna is. So like if you have two missing things in your life, you constantly focus on two missing things, but 98 things Krishna has given you so positive. How many times we think about 98 positive? दो प्रॉब्लम है उसके लिए लेके पूरा समय पूरा टाइम वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन ओ आई डोंट हैव दोस टू थिंग्स आई डोंट हैव दोस टू थिंग्स आई डोंट हैव दोस टू थिंग्स आई विश आई हैड दोस टू थिंग्स अरे बाबा कृष्णा हैज गिवन यू 98 गुड थिंग्स वी हार्डली फोकस थैंक यू माताजी एंड हु विल टेल द लास्ट वन डी शुभम प्रभु
मुझे डी याद नहीं आ रहा।
See, I read your mind that Prabhu doesn't remember D. Okay, anyone else? That's okay, Prabhu. I'm also. Manohan Prabhuji?
Denies reality.
Okay, what does it mean, Prabhuji?
Like Duryodhan, he did not accept his fault. So he was always thinking that I am right, I am right. So that's probably my mentality as well. I'm always thinking that I am right. But
I'm with you, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Most of us, many times we think I'm right. What do you call? Mr. Right. I'm Mr. Right. My way or highway. Now, it may not be necessarily true that I'm wrong, but generally speaking, our mentalities, we deny the reality. We don't take the responsibility. But if we take the responsibility, we present ourselves for improvements, and then the things go a little bit better. Thank you. So this is mind. So this mind can be our best friend if we are engaging in Krishna consciousness services, and it can be our worst enemy. So Prabhupada is basically saying, why should we need to train this mind? Because it is extremely important. We see this world through our mind. And if our mind is contaminated, obviously our impressions will be contaminated as well. So it's very, very important to understand the mind and then treat the mind as we should treat it. It says we should treat our mind, and not that I'm able to do it, to be honest, but theory and it's nice meditation. We should treat mind as a third person, as a third person. If someone knocks your door to sell something, in India, you know, so many salesmen, people will knock on your door all day. They will be coming, coming, coming. Do you take every product which they advertise? Anyone? Prasanatma Prabhu? You took every product when they came on your door. Prabhuji, ये bedsheet ले लो, this bathroom stuff ले लो, kitchen stuff ले लो. Do you take everything?
No, Prabhu.
Huh? You take selective things, right? What you need and it's a good price, then you take. So you analyze, always you analyze. If you're driving on the road and I tell you, Prabhu, look there, will you immediately look there? No, because you're a driver. You may put all the passengers in a big trouble. So you will analyze. Yes, if the road is safe and I'm able to look in that direction, you will look at the road and say, hang on a second, I'll look at it later, or I can't look at it. So everything, single things mind proposes, will you accept it? No, we should not.
Yeah.
We should analyze it. And we can only analyze when we treat mind as a third person, Chaitanya Prabhu gave a beautiful, simple example. On Ekadashi, if I come and give you a wheat chapati, I cannot say chapati because here Mataji sometimes make badam ka chapati. So chapati word itself is not enough these days. So wheat chapati, I give you rice and dal. What you will say? Nahi Prabhuji, today is Ekadashi, isn't it? So you listen the proposal, you analyze it. Today is Ekadashi, I can't accept it. And you say, no, thank you, I can't take it today. Today there's besan ka pakoda, I can't take. So you analyze it. Similarly, you have to analyze when your internal callings is also coming out. When external calling come, you can say no. Salesmen come, we say no. Dal chawal come on Ekadashi, we say no. That's fine. But when internal calling come, let's do it, and we are not satisfied. So you have to treat mind. So good things, you say, yeah, go to temple, let's go to temple. Go for seva, let's go for seva. Read Shastra, go for it. But now it mind does all the other things. What do we say? Thank you, mind bhaiya. Thank you, Mr. Mind. I will come. My Guru Maharaj used to say, don't say no to the mind. What you say to the mind? Just wait, just coming. Don't say no. If you say no, you'll become very angry and upset. It will trouble you a lot. Guru Maharaj say, just put whatever your anti-spiritual desires are on the top shelf and just say, just coming, just coming, just coming. And you say, you come back after a while and you'll see, there are no more material desires. They're all gone. Huh? In the time, they will all go away. But don't attend it. He said, whatever is coming, you can't stop it. You can't stop. Mind will get so many proposals. But what you act on. So if something which you should not act on, put it in the top shelf and say, just coming. I really like this example. Yes, I wish I was able to do it. So just coming. So material desires come, they will come. You are living the material world. But what we should do, just wait, just wait. And during the course of Krishna Seva, all those desires will go away. Okay, so mind. Now we come back to Prabhupada purport here. Now Prabhupada is giving another topic here. Just read it. Anyone would like to read? Raghi Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. One should spend all one's time engaging the mind and tongue in remembering and glorifying Krishna's name, form, and pastimes, living in Vraja and in following in the footsteps of the great devotees with great love for Krishna.
So Prabhupada is writing, one should spend all one's time engaging the mind and tongue. So previously he said why to train. Now he will tell how to train. So first, we need that conviction that yes, we need to train our mind. And if you don't have that conviction, obviously you will not go. Like if you feel you are sick, then only you will go to doctor. If you don't feel you are sick, why will you go to doctor? So first Prabhupada explained, why should we train the mind? Now he is explaining how to train the mind. So let's look into these things. First thing Prabhupada is saying, or Rupa Goswami can say, reside. Our residence is very, very important. It says, wherever your subtle body is, that's where you live, isn't it? You may be standing in the temple, but your mind is at work or at home or in the hospital for someone. So actually, where are you staying? You're staying in your house or at your work. You're not in the temple. Huh? Or it can be other way. Suppose you are in Vrindavan, you're thinking about Sydney. In Sydney, something must be going on. Did I lock my house? I- am I getting profit or gain in how's the share market going on? Blah, blah, blah. So are you still in Vrindavan? Actually not. Huh? Or you can be in Sydney, but you can still live in Vrindavan because your consciousness is engaged in Krishna or his service. Huh? So residence is very, very important. So Rupa Goswami is saying you should stay in Braja. In Braja. Now, what does it mean to be a Brajavasi? So it says there can be 4 types of Brajavasis. One is one who have taken birth in Braja. Huh? Many living entities have taken birth in Braja, which is very, very auspicious. One living entity have not taken birth in Braja, but who has gone to Braja. Now, another living and who has gone to Braja and living there. Another living entity can be who has not taken birth in Braja, who has not gone to Braja for living, but who visits Braja. So once in a year, many devotees, they go to Dham, Mayapur, Vrindavan, they spend 1 month or something like that in Dham. So they're also Brajavasis. And the fourth one is like Prabhupada. It says Prabhupada in 1965, did he go out of Vrindavan? He said no. He carried Vrindavan, and wherever he went, he replicated that Vrindavan. Huh? So some people carry that bhav of Braja in their mind. And he's saying that is the most important Brajavasis. Not that the first 3 are not Brajavasis, but the fourth one, Rupa Goswami says, is the prominent Brajavasi because it's the state of mind which matters. Huh? So if your state of mind is to serve Krishna, Prabhupada said in LA temple, he said, I'm in Vrindavan. And they created a mini Vrindavan for Prabhupada in the temple. It's still there today. So residence in Vraja has to be understood correctly. It's not the word Vraja, you arrive to the land, but your mind is still outside Vraja, or you are going to Vraja for some benefit. It says you should only reside in Vraja, not visiting, when you get the permission of your spiritual master. So unless your spiritual master permits you, you should not constantly live in Braja. It's a big topic actually, but it's very important. So you should stay in Braja. I was in Braja once. I'm just remembering. I was leaving one morning, so I went to see my spiritual master. He was there as well, and I said, Maharaj, I'm leaving. Please give me permission. And he said, I will not give you permission. Like, what is for a second, I was like, he said, no, I'm not allowing you to go. Like, okay, I have a flight. I have to go to Delhi. My taxi was ready. The luggage was in the taxi. Everything was done. I just went to see him. And then he smiled. He said, you can go out, but don't go out. You can go out, but don't go out. Huh? So he said, you can go physically from the Braja, but don't go mentally from the Braja. Huh? This was very sweet, very, very sweet. Huh? He's saying you can physically go, that's fine. But initially he said, no, I'll not give you permission. I was literally, just saying, obviously I didn't mean it. I meant it, but I'm not so deep. So I said, Maharaj, give me permission. I'm going today. And he said, no, don't go. Live here. And then after a minute or two, he said, he could understand, I'm a complete foolish person. So he said, no, you can go physically, but don't leave Braja. Don't leave Braja. So nice, actually, so nice. He said, you should always live in Braja, no matter where your body is, in Sydney or in New York or London, whatever it is. So in Vraja state or in a land or wherever you are, you should live in Vraja, in that consciousness, under the shelter of advanced devotees. So even if I'm in Sydney, that can be a Brajavas, but when it will become Brajavas, when I am under the shelter of advanced devotees. If I'm living on my own, like Maharaj Bharat, for all good reasons, that may not be successful. Maharaj Bharat has said one of the things which he did not do, he was not taking constant association of other Vaishnavas. If he would have taken constant association, then he would know what to do with this baby deer. Because speaking of that baby deer wasn't wrong, keeping it with him, that wasn't very nice. So he could have done many things about that baby deer, which he didn't do just because he was not in that association. So in Braja, under the shelter of advanced devotees, and then what you are doing, think of Krishna's pastime. Huh? That's what your whole mindset should be. Yes, Jayadharma Prabhu.
Nothing, Prabhu. Just one of the, when you were saying that always having a mind in Vrindavan, right? I was just thinking about um, Deenabandhu Prabhu. Like whenever he comes to Sydney, right? Even though he stays in
Yes,
Vrindavan, he always carries the tarot. Like
absolutely.
when we look in, like when he talks or how sweet he talks or
Yeah.
narrates the pastimes, it's like he's always in Vrindavan. That's what
Always,
I could.
that's so true, Prabhu, so true. Even he's walking, he's talking, his actions, you can see, even without his opening the mouth, you can see he's a Brajavasi. He's a total Brajavasi. Huh? The way he talks, he walks, he dresses himself, he presents himself, and then when he opens the mouth, oh, so nice, Braj Leela, Braj Leela. And just spontaneous Braj Leela. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice example. If you don't know, Deenbandhu Prabhuji is one of the very, very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He's living in Vrindavan, I don't know, for 40 plus years. He speaks better Hindi than me. Total Brajavasi person, total Brajavasi person. Such a nice person. Huh? Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. So this is what the Brajavas is. Huh? He comes out sometime for preaching, but total Brajavas. Very nice. Okay, so it's a big topic. We'll just take some quick pointers here. Braja is a big topic. Okay, so residence is the first point. Now Prabhupada is explaining the process of it. Huh? What should be the process for training the mind? Brajavas is one, residence is one. What's the process? Prabhupada says remembrance of Krishna and his eternal associates. Huh? So Brajavas means you're constantly thinking about Krishna, pastime, Krishna's Naam, Krishna's Charit, Krishna's Leela. Huh? That's what you have to train. There's nothing like, you can't certify your mind to be what Mahasa Prabhu, ISI 9000 or something. You have that certification. So what is the certification here? Your constant absorption in Dham and Dhamvasis, in Krishna and Krishna's devotees. If you are able to do that, you have trained your mind well. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj actually have discussed on this, and Prabhupada is obviously repeating in his purports different stages of remembrance, which we'll talk in the next slide. We'll come to that. So how do you know which stage of remembrance you are at? Huh? Then how to serve? Huh? So you're residing in Vrindavan, you're under the guidance of pure devotees, but how do you serve Dham and the devotees? So Prabhupada writes with feeling. So it's not just a duty. Huh? If you're just doing the duty, that's not very advanced level. You should definitely do duty. For your deities, you are doing duty. For devotees, you are doing duty. Yes, to start with is very nice. We start from the duty perspective, but duty and love, they can be quite different sometimes. So we are not doing duty when we are living in Dham, when we are serving deities or doing any seva actually. We should do that seva with love. I'm doing this for the pleasure of Krishna or one of his devotees who have engaged in this seva. So if you do with that mentality, that seva will be successful. Otherwise, it's just a duty. And after 20 years, you still remain duty conscious. Huh? Definitely, the benefit will be there in doing duties as well, under the direct guidance of a particular Krishna's associate. Now, here I'll not explain too much here. In Nectar of Devotion, we'll read the Raganuga Bhakti. There we will expand on this topic. How, if we want to get a particular mood, we have to get absorbed in the mood of that devotee which has that particular mood. For example, if you have Vatsalya Bhava for Krishna, so you should be following the example of Yashoda Maya or Nanda Maharaj, Vasudev, Devaki, in that mode. So you're constantly listening what Mother Yashoda did to please Krishna. And then in those thoughts and memories, you'll also develop that sort of bhava. If you want to have Sakha Bhava with Krishna, then you have to constantly listen about the Krishna Sakhas in Vrindavan. How did they please Krishna? How did they serve Krishna? Huh? So similarly, whatever the bhava is, mood is, that's how you sort of expand on. We'll expand this topic in Nectar of Devotion more. It's actually a very, very high topic, very, very high topic, this Raganuga Bhakti, etc. Anyway, we're just repeating the purport of Prabhupada. Now, within that, Prabhupada is saying there's a sadhana and there is a sadhya. Sadhana means the process, sadhya is the goal. So if I'm going to temple, for example, North Sydney temple, so North Sydney temple becomes my goal or sadhya, and sadhan can be, I can walk to temple, I can go by car, I can take a bus or train or something like that. Huh? So sadhan and sadhya, it should be very, very clear. If our sadhya is not clear, if my goal is not clear, I may have the best car in Sydney or in Australia. Where I will land up, I don't know actually. I don't know. So sadhya should be very clear and sadhana should be very clear. Sometimes people know I have to go to Krishna, but they don't know how to go to Krishna. And they're going to this Baba and that Baba. Their sadhana is some is doing do meditation, some saying do dhyan, some doing some tapasya, do dan. All these sadhans are rejected in Srimad Bhagavatam, except Krishna Nam and Krishna Seva, Krishna Pranam. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam. Uh, Pranamo Tat Dukha Shamana. So by Nam Sankirtan and Pranam, you can go back to Krishna. That's the Bhagavatam's last verse, 12, 12, 23. I forgot the full verse. Anyway, so sadhana, spiritual practices executing while in stage of bondage. So yes, you are conditioned, but you execute some practices as guided by our seniors, our acharyas. And if you do that sadhana sincerely with your heart, eventually you will reach to sadhya. Sadhya means God realization will happen one day. Okay, now we'll go to this different stages of remembrance, which Prabhupada is writing. We'll quickly look at these 4 dashas are given by Prabhupada or Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj: Shravan Dasha, Varan Dasha, Smaranavastha, or Sampatti Dasha. So Shravan Dasha, as the word denotes itself, hearing. Prabhupada said the spiritual life starts from hearing. Right now we are hearing about Krishna. That is Shravan Dasha. Varan Dasha means acceptance. Acceptance means you accept who you are. Jivera Sarup Hoy Krishna Nityadat. Like initially when you do Shravan, not everything which goes to your mind you accept it, isn't it? Are aisa kaise hai? Hey, Krishna is avatar of Vishnu. How come? No. I've seen in Ramanand Sagar, Ramayana or Mahabharata, no? Krishna comes out of Vishnu. Yes, but there's more detail to it. So acceptance of it. Now from Nama Parad, which is in Shravan Dasha, you can say you start moving to Nama Bhas or Shuddha Nam. That is called Varan Dasha. Varan means you accept it, accept the facts. Yes, I agree. I am not such a great person. I'm in bondage and I have to get out of it. So acceptance is called Varan Dasha, and you start becoming serious. And that Smaranavastha, then you constantly remembering about Krishna. So first you have to accept, right? Unless you accept, how would you become serious? So you accept, yes, I am diseased and I need to go to a doctor. So first is Shravan Dasha, then Varan Dasha, then Smaranavastha. Then you are constantly remembering about Krishna. And then finally it's called Sampatti Dasha. Sampatti means wealth. You have become wealthy. Like, CNN have certified as one of the richest world people, for example. You get a certification. I remember seeing a little clip. Gaur Gopal Prabhu got a trophy or certification from Google because he had, I don't know, 15 million followers or something, one of the largest followings, Gaur Gopal Prabhu, many years ago, actually, many years ago. So Sampatti Dasha, you realize the God. So hearing, Shravan Dasha, Varan is acceptance, Smaranavastha, remember and chant in ecstasy. Sampatti Dasha, eternal relationship is revealed. You remember one of the pastimes, and that's why I put this picture here. Rupa Goswami was remembering one of the pastimes of Radha Rani and Krishna. Radharani is telling Krishna, I want those flowers, but the tree is quite high. So Krishna, can you lift me up? So Krishna takes her, Srimati Radharani, and lifts her up. And she holds one branch from one hand and pull the branch down. And she's plugging the flowers. And while she's plugging the flowers, Krishna leaves Srimati Radharani. And Radharani is hanging with one hand on a tree. Hey, please save me. Why did you leave me? And Krishna is laughing. And Rupa Goswami, looking at all this lila, he's also laughing. And we know one of the Babajis could not understand Rupa Goswami correctly, and he felt offended. Anyway, the point is, in Rupa Goswami, Siddha Deha, he can enter into pastime. Narottam Das Thakur, Ramchandra Das, he can enter into that Krishna Leela. Raghunath Das Goswami, they can enter into Krishna Leela because they are at Sampatti Dasha. Their relationship with Krishna is revealed. They may be living the material world. Like Prabhupada said, you can be Jivan Mukta. In this Jivan, you can realize Krishna. You don't have to die. Many people say, once you die, you reach there. Prabhupada said, no, no. You can realize Krishna right now, Huh? So that's called Sampatti Dasha. Now, remember and chant in ecstasy. This is where we are many times. So there are further classification. There are 5 stages of Smaran. I'm just putting the names, so you can take a screenshot. It's not my naming standard. It's all given by Prabhupada. So initially, our Smaran is interrupted, isn't it? In Bhagavatam, we say, Ahetuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So there's a word Ahetuki used and apratihata. Apratihata means non-broken remembrance of Krishna, non-broken service of Krishna. So at the moment, Guru Maharaj said, you are doing pratihat service, interrupted service. Yes, you do serve Krishna, but sometimes you serve Krishna, sometimes you serve Maya. Sometimes you serve Krishna, sometimes Maya. And so interruption is there. So initially, our Smaran, our remembrance is interrupted. Slowly, it will become uninterrupted. We will be constantly remembering Krishna if we continue the process correctly. Then it will mature into uninterrupted and concentrated Smaran. Concentrated Smaran. Gaadh dugdam. Rabdi sabko अच्छी लगती है? Gaadhi, gaadhi, rabdi. North Indians will understand. Rasanand Prabhu, I don't know what you call rabdi. When you stir the milk, it becomes almost like a khoya. It calls rabdi. Any translation, Mahasu Prabhu, you have in Marathi for rabdi? It's called rabdi, huh?
No, Prabhu, no.
Rabdi is rabdi, you understand?
Yes, I understand. Yes.
Okay. So for Tamil, Prabhuji, I don't know.
It's like condensed milk,
Condensed milk.
but it is creamy condensed milk.
Creamy condensed
It's a
milk.
hard cream condensed milk. That's what you can say in English.
See, in Hindi you can say very easily, rabdi. Ho gaya. English you have to explain so long. Navaneet, makhan. Anyway. So uninterrupted and concentrated. So you're stirring the milk, stirring the milk, stirring the milk. And then milk is becoming thicker and thicker and thicker. Then meditation expands and becomes constant. You have no interruption there. And finally, uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti. Anusmriti means you can say it's like samadhi stage. Constant remembrance of Krishna. You can take a screenshot if you like, or you can watch it later. Okay, let's move forward. Next word Rupa Goswami uses, Tisthan Vraje. So we already spoke about it. What does you mean by living in Vraja? And there can be 4 types of Vrajavasis, and we can be living in Vraja while our body may not be in Vraja, as we give the example of Prabhupada. But at the same time, even for the land perspective, there's a physical land, this physical land called Vrindavan, which we see it as physical land. It's a spiritual land, but we see it as physical land. Also helps a lot. One Prabhupada disciple was saying, as you have the conveyor belt which helps you to move when you get down from an aircraft, you have to move to your customs or something. There's a long journey. So there's a belt. If you walk on the belt or even if you stand on the belt, you are still moving. So the place, Kal, Sthan, this helps actually. A presence of a very highly elevated spiritual person, they all help actually. Desh, Kal, Patra, they help you to go forward. So Prabhupada said, at least once in a year, we should definitely visit Dham, because Dham is very, very important, very, very important. So when you go to Dham, what's the benefit? At other places, you have to remember Krishna by different means. But in Dham, Prabhupada says Krishna is very easily available. Wherever you will look, you'll say Krishna conscious things. You look at devotees, you look at some Leela, you look at some Radhe Radhe, some bhajan is going on, some katha is going on. In Vrindavan, you don't have to find Krishna. It's readily available for you. So that Dham very, very much helps. So when we go to Dham, we get the mercy of Dham and the Dhamvasis. So some examples who stayed in Dham and perfected in their devotion. The first example, which I thought was very nice. Okay, Jiva Goswami is one. Jiva Goswami, as we know, he's the niece of Rupa and Sanatana. And he had darshan of Srimati Radharani while staying in Dham, while he was doing a very simple seva of getting water from Yamuna for his uncle, which Rupa Goswami asked him to bring water. So he perfected his devotion while staying in Dham. He's our Siddhanta Acharya. He has written 400,000 Sanskrit verses, new verses. Not that he has just copied. 400, 4 lakh verses, 4 lakh shlokon ki rachna Jiva Goswami has done by staying in Dham. Below Mangal Thakur, I'm sure everyone knows the past time when he was outside Dham, although when he met Chintamani, I will not go in the whole past time. He decided to go to Vrindavan, but even on the way, his mind was distracted. He saw a Brahman lady, his mind got distracted again, and then he poked the hairpin of that lady, and he made himself blind, and he came to Vrindavan. Why? Because in the land of Vrindavan, finding Krishna, controlling senses is much, much easier than outside. Great example. And Prabhupada said he lived in Vrindavan for 700 years. How does it work? Don't ask me. Prabhupada said he lived there for 700 years. And he was doing Krishna bhajan all the time. Who's this in the picture? Narad Muni. When Narad Muni, in the previous life, obviously, when he was a son of a maid servant, he took the remnants from these great sages for Chaturmas, and finally, when his mother died, he went to Vrindavan and there he did bhajan. It says he did more severe bhajan than Dhruv Maharaj. Now, Dhruv Maharaj bhajan, we all know, was very, very great, but he did tapasya more than Dhruv Maharaj. And this is Dhruv Maharaj. Madhuban. Narada Muni said, go to Madhuban, go to Madhuban. So all these devotees are telling us Madhuban, land of Madhupuri, Vrindavan, Vrajamandal is very, very important. It says in every leaf, if you have the vision, you can see Krishna. In every leaf, every tree, every pond, every bird, every animal, you can see Krishna. You can listen about Krishna. They are singing the glories of Krishna. It says even the dhulkan, the dust particle of Raja. Amrendra Prabhu tells this verse. Mukti kahe Gopal se meri mukti bataएं. So mukti, liberation, personification is asking Krishna that I liberate everyone, but how I'm going to get liberated. So mukti kahe Gopal se meri mukti bataएं. So Gopal said, जब ब्रजरज पड़े तो मुक्ति मुक्त हो जाए. Brajraj means the dust particle of Vrindavan, when that falls on the head of Mukti, then Mukti Mukta ho jaye. So liberation personified becomes liberated. So Brajraj is so important. And that's why our Goswamis, they went to Braja and they were rolling on the dust of Braja because the Brajraj is so powerful, so powerful. It destroys your material conception straight away, straight away. When we go to Vrindavan, many times we think we should not sit on the ground, dhoti kharab ho jayegi, sari kharab ho jayegi. This is a very dirty place. We have that consciousness. But once you are doing parikrama, after 2 hours, what happens? 3 hours? Jahan jagah mile, wherever you get a spot, just sit. Anyone has done Brajmandal parikrama? Anyone on this call? No? Mayapur parikrama? You should do. Okay, Jai Dharma Prabhu, you're saying you have done Mayapur? You should do, actually. All of us should do. While the body is sort of okay, we should do this Dham Parikrama.
So
Because
let's plan for whole Bhakti
Haribol.
as
By
together. That will be good.
yes, Prabhu, it will be really nice. By Mohit Prabhu's blessings, it's possible as well.
No, as a Bhakti Shastri, we can plan in advance for
Yes,
next year.
yes, we should try, Prabhuji. It's very nice, Prabhuji. Very, very nice. Just going together in Dham and glorifying Krishna, chanting Krishna's name. It's really sweet. I'm just remembering one instance. I went for Govardhan Parikrama with many Sydney devotees. It was the best parikrama I have. I've done many Govardhan Parikramas. I'm sure all of you have done it. But that parikrama I clearly remember was the best parikrama. With like 5 devotees, and we just talking Krishna's pastime, chanting Krishna's name, and then we broke our fast as well that day. But the whole parikrama, I did not even realize when the parikrama got finished. 5 of us, just going simple, no car or anything, just tempo, auto. And we just went like that. And Krishna arranged everything that day. Beautiful, best parikrama. So when we go with devotees, the rasa is very, very different. Very sweet. And you really feel absorbed. Okay, so Dhruv Maharaj is a great example. And final example is Vrinda Devi, on whose name the Vrindavan is named actually. So Vrinda Devi have done tapasya, I heard in a class, for 60,000 years. Some actually say 80,000 years. So Vrinda Devi was doing 80,000 years of tapasya in that land. So imagine, by her presence, and by presence of so many other devotees, by presence of Krishna and Srimati Radharani herself, that land is so powerful, so powerful. So we should not underestimate ever that value of that land. Although our external vision at the moment, because it's very conditioned, we may not be able to see that dham, but our acharyas are saying we should visit, we should try to get the mercy. So we should try to follow that as a part of our sadhana as much as possible, because these things are not gross. And say, before we go into the dham, we should prepare to go to dham, because we cannot see dham through the eyes, we should see the dham through our ears. So if we are planning to go to dham, please listen the glories of that particular dham a lot, and then you'll increase the appreciation of that dham. And then when you go to dham, it says that Krishna is very accessible to us. Krishna's mercy is very much accessible to us. So Krishna Vraje. Next one is Tad Anuragi Jananugami. So while reciting Vraja, Rupa Goswami says, Prabhupada says, what you should do? Tad Anuragi. So Tad Anuragi means one who is a Brajvasi. Tad Anuragi Jana Anugami. So a person, you should find a shelter of that sort of person, and Anugami, and you follow in his footsteps. Now, what does it mean for us to become Tad Anuragi Jananugami? For us, specifically us in this group, at least we can say, to become better follower of Srila Prabhupada. So for us, what is Tad Anuragi Jananugami? For us is Srila Prabhupada, who had so much anurag for Krishna and his seva for his Guru Maharaj. If we become Anugami of Srila Prabhupada, better Anugami, we're all doing some Anugaman, but we can become better, then this statement is successful for all of us. So Tad Anuragi Jananugami. Because what did Prabhupada do? My Guru Maharaj said in one of the class, as Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma, Srila Prabhupada also comes once in a day of Brahma. This is my Guru Maharaj's statement in Sydney temple. So Prabhupada is just not one of the acharyas. There can be many acharyas, but he's very, very special acharya. And he only appears once in day of Brahma. And the love he presented while he was physically present before us for Krishna and for the service of Krishna, this is unparalleled in any history of the world, unparalleled. He risked his own life. He risked every single thing. He was living in Vrindavan as a sannyasi. He had access to Sumati Moraji. He had access to Lal Bahadur Shastri. He could write letter to the President of India. He had all these facilities. He had big reputation as a sannyasi. He was very scholarly. He was Bhakti Vedanta. His title was given because he was very scholarly. Living in Radha temple. People aspire to go to Vrindavan. What to speak of living in Vrindavan? Then living in Vrindavan as a sannyasi, living in Vrindavan as a sannyasi in Radha Damodar temple, having all the accesses. Who would like to leave that association? It says Jiva Goswami, when he took shelter of Vrindavan, he practically never left Vrindavan. Later on, Shyamanand Prabhu, which was Dukhi Krishnadas, later became Shyamanand Prabhu. Shyamanand Prabhu, Narottam Das Thakur, and Srivas Acharya. They are like the three big personalities. They joined Jiva Goswami, and Jiva Goswami trained them for long time. And after many, many years of training by Jiva Goswami asked them to leave Vrindavan. Jiva Goswami's spiritual master is Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami is writing in his books, Tishtan Vraje. And now his disciple, Jiva Goswami, is telling his disciple, his Siksha disciples, I should rather say, they were not Diksha disciples, Siksha disciples, Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamanand Prabhu, and Srivas Acharya, that you leave Vrindavan. But for what purpose? Now you go back to Orissa and Bengal and you preach Krishna consciousness. You do book distribution. And first they heard these three. They were very good friends and they were very good disciples. And they were completely fixed in Jiva Goswami and Vrindavan. And their spiritual master, their Siksha Guru, is asking them to leave Vrindavan. But for what? You carry this Vrindavan outside. So they did not hesitate to carry the order of their Siksha Guru, and they went back to Orissa and Bengal, and with a lot of difficulty, obviously, big pastime, but they established so much Krishna consciousness, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. They said they did not only preach Krishna consciousness, they left a legacy of very big preachers of Krishna consciousness in wherever they preached. Like Narottam Das Thakur converted the whole state in Krishna consciousness. Same with Shyamanand Prabhu and Srivasacharya. They did big preaching. So it's not like just a physical presence is what Rupa Goswami is saying. Prabhupada himself, as we discussed, left Vrindavan at one stage of his life, but he never left Vrindavan. Rather, he carried Vrindavan, and wherever he went, he replicated that Vrindavan, he presented that Vrindavan, and now we are living in those Vrindavans, which was made by Prabhupada, isn't it? Our Radha Gopinath temple, for example, for us in Sydney, that's Vrindavan. That's Vrindavan. When we go there, we can feel, and it was created by Prabhupada. So Tad Anuragi Jananugami for us means becoming a better servant of Srila Prabhupada, because he had this selfless mood of serving Krishna. And if we can absorb even some drops of that selfless service to Krishna, then we are living in Vrindavan and we are following the footsteps of one of his great devotees. Okay. Okay, very nice. This Prabhupada line. To live in Vrindavan is like to live in the lap of Krishna. To live in Vrindavan is very fortunate, but you live only when ordered by a spiritual master. This is very great statement. Sometimes actually people take permission, if possible, even if they visit Vrindavan. I remember one of the very senior Vaishnavas, I'll not name it, in Sydney. He did not visit, although he joined Krishna consciousness fully actually. He was in Mayapur, but he did not visit Vrindavan, I think, for first 10 or 12 years of his life in Krishna consciousness I'm talking. And he had joined Krishna consciousness full time. He had lived Mayapur 5 years. But he said, I'm hesitant to go to Vrindavan. Just in case, I commit any aparadh or something. So he made himself so eligible before going to Vrindavan. So it should not, Vrindavan visit should not be taken very casually actually. Although it's very much recommended, but still you should be careful, because in Dham you get a lot of mercy, and if you offend someone, then you carry all the aparadh as well. Okay, last line of Rupa Goswami is Kalam Nayed Akhilam Iti Upadesha Saram. So Kalam Akhilam. So Akhilam Kalam, all the Kal, 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, you should spend in engaging yourself in Krishna service. That can be any service, that can be of Nam service, that can be serving holy name, that including buying vegetables for your house, because your house is a part of Vrindavan. You have deities, you have devotees in your family, so that's all inclusive. Keshav Maharaj recently I was hearing and was telling in his class that we should not compartmentalize our life. This is my work, this is my house, this is temple. So when I go to temple, I serve Krishna. He's saying, no, you should really think, I'm going to work for Krishna. I'm working in my house for the family of Krishna. And unless you have that sort of integration, you will be disturbed, because you will not be able to give justice to just the temple time, for example. Sometime you'll be able to spend more time in temple, do more seva. Sometimes you can't. So Maharaj was saying, I just heard actually 5 p.m. or something. He's saying you should not compartmentalize, because then it becomes very challenging, very challenging. So slowly. And again, workplace does not automatically become Krishna conscious. You have to endeavor to make it Krishna conscious. And then it depends. He was saying you can talk about Krishna, you can put a photo of Krishna, remember Krishna basically while you're working, and that becomes spiritualized. So Kalam Nayed Akhilam Iti Updeshar. Now, how do you spend your time in Krishna consciousness? There's a whole lot of topic, but we understand the gist of it. And this is the Updesha Saram. So who would like to read this last line? Madhuri Mataji, would you like to read? What is this Upadesha Saram in Prabhupada words? You're on mute, Mataji.
Prabhu, actually, this is actually interrupting me down. So, few
Okay,
words
see.
I'm not able to see. Upadesha Saram, engage the mind and tongue. Then
Under the guidance
of exalted devotee, and by imbibing the
mood of Vrindavan,
one can attain perfection.
Thank you, Mata. No, I understand sometimes it can go down and you can't
Yeah.
read. And so this beautiful line Prabhupada has written, and if we can just absorb this one line, in this one class. It's very nice. Engage the mind and tongue. So obviously tongue has to be engaged as well. Till the time we have speaking power, we should glorify Krishna. And the mind, manasi niyoja. So what Rupa Goswami said, rasana, manasi niyoja. Both you have to engage. And you start with tongue, but eventually you have to engage your mind under the guidance of exalted devotee, which we are all trying to do under the shelter of Prabhupada. And it can be his representative. So a spiritual master, we should not see as separate from Prabhupada. A spiritual master is also giving us Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is what is he giving? He is giving us Krishna. So every spiritual master is sort of representing the same tattva. So we should not see them separately. Guidance of exalted devotee, and by imbibing the mood of Vrindavan. So what is the mood of Vrindavan? If I have to ask you in one word, selfless service to Krishna. No selfish or ulterior motive for doing the seva. I'm doing seva so I can become very popular. I'm doing seva so people can appreciate me. That is my ulterior motive. So selfless. Prabhupada, the way he served his spiritual master, what was his selfish motive? Zero. He was just trying to serve his spiritual master. He said, even if I arrive to the land of America and die there, my mission will be successful. Even if I make one disciple, my mission will be successful. So Prabhupada made disciple. Prabhupada made a temple, but Prabhupada did not stop there. Prabhupada did not get satisfied. Oh, I fulfilled the instruction of my spiritual master because I have made 5 disciples. I have made 2 temples, for example. Prabhupada continuously journeying, traveling. One of Prabhupada's disciples said, Prabhupada murdered himself. He used this word, murder. Prabhupada murdered himself for us. And we forget Prabhupada, what he did for us. He murdered himself. You're journeying India. Some of you are journeying to India very, very soon. It's difficult, isn't it? Just to prepare the luggage, go to the airport and sit in the flight for a long time, then do a transit. Binay Prabhu was here now. Okay, he is gone. His flight has come, I guess. It's very, very difficult. Prabhupada did 14 times around the world at the age of 70 to 80. 12 years of very, very extreme hard work for us. And we still forget Prabhupada, what he has done for us. So imbibe that mood. At least we can try. Meditate on that. Okay, so finally, we have already read this. It's just a summary in one slide. So NOI text 8. Why to train the mind? And we discuss about mind can be our friend. The impressions carry our mind, and it can be very dangerous. 6.6. And we read 8.5. It functions at death. So Ante Narayane Smriti creates the next body. Advice is train mind to think of Krishna and not about the next things. How to train the mind? Prabhupada wrote reside, process, how to serve, reside in Raja under the shelter of a devotee, and always think of Krishna's pastime. What's the process? Remembrance of Krishna and his eternal associate. Different stages of remembrance. We already read that, 4 stages. Now, how to serve? With feeling under the direct guidance of a particular associate of Krishna. Sadhana and sadhya. Sadhana is the process, the practices which we are doing right now to achieve our sadhya, which is realizing Krishna or becoming Krishna consciousness. Okay, I'll stop here. It's exact 9:00. Any quick questions from anyone or quick comments? Everyone is in Vrindavan. Looks like you're deeply absorbed in the remembrance of Krishna. Thank you. Your faces are reflecting from Vrindavan. I can see Radha Shyam Sundar in many, many eyes. Okay, good. Thank you. If not, please try to do that. And I will also do that. It's for me more than you. And we should all try to remember our Brijvas. Okay, Manmohan Prabhuji, if